Okay, so in this video I'm going to look at slope of a line. I'm going to look at what slope of a line actually means and how to calculate the slope of a line. So first of all, we have a line here on an Argand diagram, and I've got 2 points on this line. I have the point 3, 2, you go out 3, you go up 2, and I have the point 6, 5, so we're going to go out 6 on the x-axis and then up 5 on the y-axis. So I have this line, I have 2 points on the line, and I'm going to try and calculate the slope of this line. But what does that actually mean? Well, the slope of a line it really means how steep the line is. So the steeper the line, the bigger the number is, the bigger the slope is. So this line here would roughly make an angle of 45 degrees with the x-axis. So it actually has a slope of somewhere around 1. But we'll calculate that in a minute. Let's have a look at how you actually go about calculating the slope. Well, the formula we're going to use is m for slope is equal to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So what does that actually mean? Well, we're going to look at the difference of the two y values divided by the difference of the two x values. So if you take, for example, if we drop a triangle, if we drop a line down along here and we make a line across here, we have a right angle triangle here made from these 2 points. Now the distance from here to here, from the right angle here up to this point 6, 5, is going to be the difference of the two y values of these 2 points. Because if you look at this distance here, the distance from here down to here is 5 units. The distance from here down to here is going to be the difference between 5 and this distance here. This distance here is going to be this y value here, which is 2. So if we take 5 minus 2, it'll give us this distance here, which is in fact our y2 minus y1. If we call this, say, our second y value, and this is our first y value, this is y2 minus y1, or 5 minus 2. So in this case, on the top line, we're going to have 5 as our y2. We're going to subtract the 2, and that'll give us this distance here on our triangle. So it's 5 minus 2. Now what about this value here then? The x2 minus x1 is the difference of our x values. So if we take this distance here, this distance here is going to be the difference between this x value and this x value here. This here is, we'll call this our second x value, which is x2, and this value here is going to be x1. So 3 is our first x value, 6 is our second x value, x2. So 6 is the distance from here right back to here, so that's 6. 3 is the distance from here, should be 3 here, the distance from here to here, so that's that value there, 3. It's slightly out on the graph, but you get the idea. So if we subtract 3 from 6, it'll give us this distance here. So this distance here is actually x2 minus x1. So that's actually 6 minus 3. So our slope is 5 minus 2, which is 3, 6 minus 3, which is 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. So in fact the slope of this line here is 1, plus 1. So it's really you take any triangle from any 2 points on our line and take this side here, divide it by this side here, it'll give you the slope of the line. So our slope here in this particular case of this particular line is 1 plus 1, and what you'll find is that all slopes of lines that are in this direction here are positive, and if we take lines that are in this direction here, any kind of line that's pointing this way, will have negative slopes. So let's have a look at another example. I'll just pick 2 points at random. Let's say pick minus 2 minus 5, and let's say 3 minus 2. We'll pick these 2 points. So these 2 points are on a particular line, and we're going to find the slope of the line that these 2 points are on. So we'll start with our formula. So our formula is m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So what you do is just identify which one you'd like to be x1, y1, which one you'd like to be x2, y2. So we're going to, let's say we'll take this one as being x1, this one is y1. So this is our first x value, this is our first y value, this is our second x value, this is our second y value. So all we've got to do is put these values into our formula and work out the difference between the y's divided by the difference between our x's. So let's do that. Y2 is minus 2. Now we've got to write down this minus here. So that's minus. And our y1 is minus 5. So let's write that down as well. Minus 5. So we have minus 2 minus minus 5. Divide that by x2. Our x2 is 3. Write down this minus here. And then write down our our x1. Our x1 is minus 2, so we'll write down minus 2 here as well. Let's just simplify that. We have minus 2 minus minus 5. Minus minus is actually plus. So if we subtract a minus, we're actually adding the number. So it's adding the positive number. So it's minus minus, so which is a plus. So minus 2 plus 5 is what we end up with here. And then on the bottom again, we've got a minus minus, which is a plus. So we end up with 3 plus 2. So in this particular case, we end up on the top. Our numerator will be minus 2 plus 5, which is 3. And on the bottom, we end up with 3 plus 2, which is 5. So the slope of the line that contains these 2 points is 3/5, 3 over 5. So if you look at that line, it might look something like this, maybe up along here like this. It's positive, so it's going to be pointing in this direction anyway. So if you draw any triangle from this line, right angle triangle, what you'll find is the ratio of this side here to this side here will be 3:5. So the ratio will be 3 units here to 5 units here. Okay, so that's basically how you calculate slope.